absolutely zero faith, and that rolls into this weekend. We are going to face a Wolves team that have just spanked Liverpool 3-0. Liverpool are not, let's face it, they're not what they were, but that's still no result to be scoffed at, considering we took a 3-0 spanking at the weekend, so we were on the opposite scale. Mark, do you think it's hard? It's very hard to say. Obviously, I think the lineup tomorrow and the B team's going to tell you a lot more. But do you feel like that we could start with this dreaded five at the back, given that he's now screaming, "I'm going to do things my way. I'm going to do things my way."
Yeah, I'd love to say no, but yes, I think that could well be what we see. Everything kind of points to that, doesn't it? In terms of what he said, I think in his press conference today, he didn't walk back on his comments, but he did kind of say, the things I mentioned I compromised on aren't massive things. They're just little tweaks here and there, which, again, why would you say it if it's only tiny little things? But no, I think I could see a return to a five. Like you said, the B team formation, the B team selection, rather, is probably going to give us a better idea. But yeah, I can't see any reason why, four of those centre-backs, those being Lianco, Saleta Sarr, Mohamed Salisu, and another who's escaped me, Yanni B. I can't see why those four definitely aren't involved. I think with Armel Bella-Kotchap, it might take a little bit longer still, as we're kind of waiting for him to get back into full form as well, not just fitness. I don't think his form has quite been there since before the World Cup, I'll add. I don't think when he has played, he's been incredible. But yeah, I think he's got the personnel available, and I can kind of see it happening. I think three centre backs and then two players that can go a little bit higher either side. And I think for him, that will create that attacking C and that potency that he wants to see. I know we have a tendency to think five and think defensive and sitting in our shell. And obviously we've seen it work with a four so many bloody times this season that you think just stick with it, please. But no, I think most things are pointing towards it being a back three / back five. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame really because we're almost predictable in that way, and it's quite an easy one to attack as much as you've got more defenders. Because if you're playing five, naturally you're going to say, well, we've got three centre halves, we'll push the fullbacks forward. They're not playing as fullbacks, so we saw that against Newcastle in those first 20 minutes in the second leg. We were pressed in every angle possible, and it was simply down to shape, which, by the way, he refused to acknowledge again. But I can't bear watching us in a five. We're not good enough for a five. There's so many teams out there, and so few are good at playing in a five. Some of the best players in the world can't make a five work. It's just not. It's not a modern formation. It doesn't work particularly well. If it's his way, let him. Fine, because the players, they're not good enough for it. It will show, and it'll get sacked. I mean, it's as simple as that for me. Tom, do you dare to believe for this one? Do you think that he's going to show us, he's going to prove me wrong, he's going to play with a four, and we're going to smash him 5-0?
Well, I don't know about 5-0. I mean, we've only scored 17 goals. I'll just take a win. I don't care. I'll just take a win. I don't care if we scrape a goal in the 90th minute. I don't care. Just give us 3 bloody points. Wolves have only scored 15. So I can't imagine this being a free-flowing game. And like most teams that come to St Mary's at the moment, it's kind of smash and grab. We saw that with Forest and Newcastle. But I've been just trying, when you've been talking, I've been trying to put a formation out and a lineup. And look, I think he's obviously a good player. I mean, I'm not at his level, but Nathan Jones does keep he's insistent that he keeps playing Diallo in the midfield, like no Lavia. So I would quite like to see Lavia back in that team, just the way he's able to just thread a pass. Actually make the nails. No, thank you. I just don't know which team you would go with, but we've got to beat Wolves. So I'll go with the belief. And do you know what? It's the belief that kills you. And that's what hurts the most.
You come crashing out of St Mary's knowing that you believed and you've been destroyed.
Yeah. Oh, stupid. Again, I believe that we'd score more than the other team. It's ridiculous. It hurt. And then people try and console you. My other half says, Did they not win again? Of course they didn't win, and I should never have believed. But yeah, I look, if Wolves are there for the taking, we can do that. If there's any way that we play like we did against City, then yeah, like we can beat some of the best teams. We just have to do it.
Yeah, no, I feel for you on the having to talk to people. Luckily, my brother-in-law is a West Ham fan, so he's in almost as much pain as me at the minute.
How do you think you feel when you have to talk about this for a living? Yeah. This is my night off. I'll talk about a relegation scrap again.
Oh, mate, I don't feel for you. I'll just this is what our choice, isn't it? We're idiots. Bigger fool us, but whatever. It's a lifestyle, and you cannot escape it. I can't imagine though St Mary's Stadium. I mean, I was there on that dreadful evening against Forest. It was the worst the worst performance I've ever seen. Forget the 9-0s. That performance was utterly dreadful. The stats were dreadful. The 75 long balls in 90 minutes. How are you managing to hit a long pass every minute and 20 seconds in a Premier League game? How is the ball not on the floor for that long? It's absurd. And the fact we couldn't even register a shot on target was mind-numbing. But I can't imagine the atmosphere being any worse than if we go behind early on Saturday. I really don't. I really can't see it being any worse. Mark, do you believe that Jones has got it in him to outwit Lopetegui, who, by the way, was employed at a very similar time to Jones when we were on a very similar points tally?
I mean, simple answer, yes. I genuinely do believe that. I think if he's got it in him to do it against Pep, and we've given him kudos and we've given him flowers to do it before. Obviously, that was pretty much City's B team.
Was it him though, or did he compromise for that one?
Yeah, good point. Actually, maybe we'll have to put that down to compromisation, and maybe that will get the win. He hasn't got the Liverpool loss though, so I think it balances it out a little bit.
Yeah, that one. You ignore that, doesn't count.
But no. I think being genuine, I think he can get the win tactically. I think he can get it spot on, and he's shown that in games before. I think the Everton win, I don't think enough credit. Although it was 2 moments of brilliance from James Ward-Prowse, I don't think Jones actually gets probably quite enough credit for the tactical changes he made during that game. So I think the nous is there, and I think the ability to change the game from within is also there. So it's going to come down to whoever's better on the day with Lopetegui. But I like the way they've been playing recently, and it's just typical that a big game comes up and the team that you're playing are pretty much bang in form. So.
Yeah, doesn't help, does it? It doesn't help. I can't think of a lot of business they did in January, but they seem to do well since Lopetegui's come in. I mean, the points are definitely showing it. They're starting to climb, starting to get reasonably clear. So I do fear for us. I fear for us against anybody at the moment. I'm a pessimist at the best of times, but I've had to keep myself from taking a quick drive to the Itching Bridge a couple of times. It's been dreadful. It's been absolutely dreadful. But it's pretty pants. I think you're right. We've got it in us to pull a rabbit out of the hat. This B team selection is going to be so big. If we see a player like Orsic in there again, I think the fans are going to turn before our starting 11's even been announced on Saturday.